there's joy in unity.
Hi, I'm Lloydetta Quaicoe, and welcome to Sharing Our Cultures. Joining me today is Didan Ashanta Wedderburn, and she is the founder of Resilient Foreigner. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, and I have with me the amazing Didan Ashanta Wedderburn, and she's going to tell you all about what she's been up to. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Quaicoe.
Oh, I am so glad that we're having this conversation together, and I'm going to introduce you to everyone that's watching, because you're such a special person and you need to be known. Huh? We're going to be telling them who they are that are here, right?
Yes.
And so you've been here for a little while now, but can you tell us why you chose to come to Newfoundland, Labrador?
My first reason for coming to Newfoundland was to complete a master's degree at Memorial. So this would have been in 2019. I had spent about 10 years working as a second language educator. Specifically, most of that time was in Japan, teaching English in both private language institutions and public schools. So I decided I wanted to move into curriculum development. So I came to Memorial for that.
Okay, thank you. So what was your first experience like when you arrived here? I mean, and comparing that with Japan?
Well, within a couple weeks, it was evident that the culture in Newfoundland was very different from what I was accustomed to in Japan. Japan is really good at being hospitable and showcasing the best of their culture and their ways of life. But coming to Newfoundland, it was more like meeting old friends, old neighbors. So very quickly we got a feeling of we're home. It's like feeling at home in a strange place. So I wasn't thinking so eagerly to be like, oh, let me just finish this degree and head back to Japan or head to Jamaica or anything like that. I was like, maybe I'll hang around here. And it's been almost 6 years now.
All right, so you finished your program.
Yes.
And then what did you do after that?
So I got really involved while I was a student, involved in the ESL industry here, participating in the professional association, being a board member, putting on conferences, even teaching ESL students at the university. So by the time I had finished my studies, I was now thinking definitely I want to work at the university. And my first full-time role was in the School of Graduate Studies here at Memorial.
All right, so you really enjoyed being in the university campus?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So were there any challenges that you faced when you came here?
I think that's inevitable.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about that, because I know a few people have mentioned that as well.
Well, the first thing that should be clear, this wasn't my first new home away from home. I grew up in Jamaica, but I'd spent my previous 8 years living in Japan. So I knew the ropes of adapting to a new environment. But every culture is different. Every geographic region is different. So I personally believe from my experience and from speaking with people all over the globe who have had to relocate that the struggles are inevitable. Even if you stay in your hometown for your entire life, you're gonna have struggles. So moving to a new place, it's inevitable. Some of the challenges that I recall would probably be remembering that everyone here speaks English.
Okay.
So in Japan, of course, the native language is Japanese, and I wasn't very fluent. I had functional level Japanese. And over time, I had learned to kind of figure things out on my own because many people in Japan are not good at English, or English isn't their second language. So if you walk into the average store and you can't explain yourself clearly in Japanese, it may make them feel uncomfortable because they can't support you. And so it took me a while to remember that it's okay to walk up to someone in a store and say, where can I find that? Or do you have any of this? Or how does this work? It really took me a while to unlearn those behaviors of living in a country where the native language is not my native language. So surprisingly, that was one of my first hurdles.
Okay, and you overcome that?
Oh, of course.
Okay, that's why we're having this conversation.
Yes.
So why then did you choose to go to Japan, even though you, if I understand it, you didn't speak Japanese at the time?
Well, my very first experience in the world of teaching English as a foreign language was in Indonesia.
You've been around, girl.
So during my undergrad years, there was an opportunity to go on kind of like a school trip with one of my professors, and the trip took us to Indonesia. I spent a summer there teaching in one of the local universities in Medan on the island of Sumatra, and I fell in love with it. All up to that point, my goal was, I'm going to graduate and become like a marriage and family therapist, because I grew up in a home where my parents did a lot of like marriage seminars, family counseling, that sort of thing. So I thought, I'm going to be a marriage and family therapist, until I had the experience of teaching English and the cultural exchange that happens, and seeing people develop personally and professionally as their fluency and their skills improve. It just changed my entire worldview, my values, my goals. And so I wanted to play a role in helping people adapt to new cultures. And one of the best ways to do that is by giving them a foreign language. Because if you know another language, you can go to a new place.
Wow. That's great. I haven't had it been put that way before. You have another language you can... Yeah, so, okay, so you first started off in Indonesia.
Yes.
And you taught English there. And so did you learn any of the language as well?
Yes, that was, I think, my first time realizing that I could pick up languages quickly. Okay. We had had some prep sessions prior to heading to Indonesia. But while there, I spent a lot of time practicing, listening to the people. After, I would say, 2-3 weeks of teaching in the university, mingling with my host family, that sort of thing, I started to understand conversations. So I would say maybe my listening skills were stronger than my speaking skills. By the time we were done, I'd been on like news, TV interviews. Because, I mean, it was kind of like a highlight for a small city, like the one we were in, to have people of African descent be there. And so they wanted to find out who we were and get to know more about our culture, yeah.
Okay, so this was a program whilst you were in Jamaica?
Yes,
okay.
So it was during the summer, so school is on break. We go off to teach, and while we're there, we are just immersing ourselves in the culture. And yeah, it helped me to appreciate being in a place where you don't speak the dominant language. So it also gave me that compassion to say I want to help people to do that as well.
All right. So how then did you prepare yourself to teach in Japan?
Also, after that experience, I decided this is what I want to do. So let's forget about the family counseling.
That went out the window.
No, let's leave that to someone else. And so I enrolled in a program for people who want to take this as a profession. And so I got my certification. At the bare minimum, someone who wants to go into second language education needs to get certified as an educator, not just learning like the principles of grammar or that sort of thing, but learning teaching methodologies and how to adapt to different dynamics, because you might get hired for a school that has low resources and you have to figure things out to still allow your students to thrive. So got those qualifications, started looking for jobs, because I happened to meet someone and she was like, oh, I'm moving to Japan next week. And I was like, Japan, why? She's like, oh, I'm going to teach English. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, okay, I loved Indonesia. Maybe I could try Japan. And that was it. I met her in August. And it was probably a year later that I moved to Japan.
Okay. So when you moved, like, did you make a connection with the people? Did you know where you were going to stay? What was going to happen when you arrived?
So one of my strategies with relocating is that I will not pack up and move anywhere unless I have someone waiting for me there. So I did my outreach to all my friends and asked them, do you know anyone in Japan? I mean, aside from this girl that I just met randomly on the street. And so connections were made, and so I was able to be received by a family who had lived in Japan for a number of years, so they could help me with my orientation, connect me with job opportunities, that sort of thing, yeah. Okay.
So by the time you arrived, you already had someone there, and
yes.
It was just smooth sailing, more or less.
Yes, yes.
Although you were in an environment of another language.
Oh, of course, of course. Okay. It's always important to make connections, and it doesn't have to be a friend or a friend of a friend. When I came to Newfoundland, I took the same approach. I went on LinkedIn, Facebook. I would go on CBC and search the news articles, and I would see anyone who had been here from like Jamaica or say Ghana or Nigeria or somewhere else. And I would send them a message and I'd say, hey, I'm Jamaican and I'm thinking of coming to study in Newfoundland. What's it like? That sort of thing. They would respond. And at like 4 in the morning, a young man who I'd reached out to came and picked me up and my family at the airport like 4 a.m. He had work at like 6 in the morning. So the same principle applied when it came to time looking for daycare for my children or getting a car. It was some of these strangers who I had met on the internet who would show up for me and make sure that things went well for me here.
You must have something about you that people want to be supportive and helpful. But we're going to talk a little bit more later on about your business that you started, and I guess a lot of things will intersect with who you are and what your experience has been.
Yes.
So we'll do that. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better. At Rogers TV, we know our community thrives because of the incredible people who support it. Today, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our amazing volunteers. Your hard work, dedication, and passion make our productions possible, bringing local stories and events to life for everyone to enjoy. Whether you're behind the camera, in the control room, or helping at events, your contributions are invaluable.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures. I'm so glad that you've joined us because we're going to find out a lot more about Didan and what she's been doing. So thank you. Now we're going to continue our conversation. And you started your own business. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know, do I call you an entrepreneur now or a business owner? She's the founder of Resilient Foreigner. Now tell me, how did you come by the name? What does it do? Who are your clients? The whole works.
So Resilient Foreigner is a consultancy that focuses on the social integration of foreigners. Specifically, I like to call them foreign professionals. So I typically work with people who you'd say they are mid-career and they've decided to relocate. Some of them are economic immigrants. They've just decided, I would like to move to a country with a better economic situation than my home country. And they are highly skilled, have a great reputation, so they move with their family. But they have to start all over. Some of them move in a similar way to me, where you move for studies and you decide to stay. Some of them will move because they are accompanying a family member. So they have given up their life, their career, and they now have to start all over. And I focus on helping them adapt to new and strange environments, and not just adapt and survive, but that they can thrive. Because I definitely believe that a lot of us, it's not until we are in a new environment that we realize how much we have to give to the world, and we can really shine.
Okay. So this process of adapting to a new culture, what does that involve?
Two main things. I named my consultancy Resilient Foreigner because resilience is essential. At the beginning of this conversation, we spoke about how challenges and struggles are inevitable, and resilience is not about being tough. I focus on soft resilience. This is the ability to bend and to lean, kind of like a bamboo tree. So the strong storm winds will come, you may get twisted, but you're gonna bounce back. You're gonna get back to your core. And so resilience is very important, but also reinvention. It can't just be about resilience, because one of the keys to thriving in any new environment is being able to become a new version of you. It's like the person who you were in kindergarten cannot maintain a senior manager role in a company. You have to be a different person. And so just in the same way as we move through levels of school, or you move from being at home with your parents as a teenager to being a mom and a wife and that sort of thing, you have to become a new version of you. When foreign professionals relocate, they need to decide, okay, I've seen the landscape, I've seen what the economy is like, I've seen what the job market is like. Based on my skill set, based on my interests, who can I become so I can thrive in this new environment?
Okay, I like that. I like the analogy of the bamboo swaying in leaves. I could almost visualize
Yes,
that. Okay.
yes, yes.
But then some people come, though, and they're foreign professionals, but they cannot find work or employment in their area of study or their skills or the experience that they have.
Yes.
So they take what we're calling these survival jobs, which
Yes.
has nothing to do with their ability or capabilities or whatever resources they have. So how would you help them? Is that someone that you could help within your own company?
Well, the first thing is that one has to decide, what is my top priority here? For some people, staying in a survival job is going to crush their soul. And for that type of person, the identification of a new path, of a new identity, of a new opportunity in a different industry, a different profession is essential. If, however, your top priority is, I'm living in a safe space, my quality of life is improved, maybe you're not bothered by the survival job. You clock in, you clock out, your bills are paid, you take your vacation, you're okay. We can't assume everyone wants to become the top of the top of the top. A lot of people move not because they want to aim high and do all these amazing things. If they wanted to, they would have stayed home because they were already the top of the ladder back home. For some people, it's just, I want my children in a different environment, or I want them positioned for opportunities that they can't have back home. And so for them, a survival job is not a big deal. But if it is that you want to be an overachiever, you want to excel, and you want to make a dent in the planet, then it may be helpful to consider a completely different industry because a lot of skills are transferable. And I think Newfoundland was the first place I noticed that. I remember before coming here, I would look up people on LinkedIn and say, okay, if they're working in this organization or this role, and I'd scroll down to look at their education, like their credentials, their experience. I'm like, but what you're doing now, they didn't study that in school. And then I realized that it wasn't just a one-off thing. It was like consistent, like so many people in like C-suite positions, they were making an impact and achieving big results without having necessarily the training or the specific certifications that match the role, because it's about the transferable skills. And sometimes the person who is an engineer might be a better plastic surgeon than someone who is a cosmetologist. You know, it all depends. And so when I work with people, I always tell them, whoever you were before you got on the plane is not going to survive in your new environment. You have to choose, who am I going to become? Sometimes that means bringing out more of who you are now, certain of your traits or skills or knowledge, experience, and sometimes it means getting totally new skills. Sometimes it means letting go of an entire profession and career. But whatever it is that you do, by changing, by redefining yourself, almost like you're playing a totally different character in a new chapter of a book, then that's what we have to do.
Right, so I'm thinking about those who come and they mid-career. Maybe we could be specific, so maybe somebody who's a doctor, let's say, and he'd been practicing medicine in his home country, but because of either the economic situations or political situations, have to move and find themselves here. And there's so many hurdles they have to go through in terms of getting their accreditation recognized. But then they are sort of like in their late 40s maybe, and can't see themselves going back to another 8 years of medical school.
Yes.
How do you then help them to get to their place, or maybe they do it on their own, I'm not sure, if you had someone like that in your consultancy?
Well, one person that I have given support to recently came here, living a vibrant medical career. But what was important is that she didn't come here assuming I'm going to go into a similar position that I held in my hospital back home. She started to look at what are the needs in Newfoundland, what are the gaps that exist. Something I often say is that the same mindset that an entrepreneur uses to win is the same one that allows a foreign professional to win. When you move to a new country, you have to look, okay, what's the landscape I'm dealing with? Where are the gaps? And based on my knowledge, my skills, my experience, how can I address this gap and fill it in a way that the locals aren't? Any foreign professional who approaches life that way won't get hung up on the fact that I'm no longer Dr. So-and-so. They'll be meeting a need. And when you're meeting a need and you're using all of the assets that you have to do it, the industry doesn't matter, the title that you have doesn't matter. So it's an entrepreneurial mindset and a desire to be of value, to find. It's like you're looking in this new society and saying, how can I be relevant? Where do I fit in? And how I was relevant in Japan is not how I was relevant in Jamaica, and not how I'm currently relevant in Newfoundland. So it's always reinventing yourself based on the needs that present themselves.
Right, and you are a very good example of that, because you came and you realized there was a need for mid-career professionals, finding their footing and their way, and so you've had this company that's doing that.
Yes.
And how do you, at the end of the day, when you help someone, how do they feel about that?
Oh, so what I think is most cool about the clients I work with is overhearing them explain to someone what I do and having them talk about how it shifted their life. A lot of it is about mindset. I focus on the psychological flexibility that's required to thrive in a new environment. A lot of it is not the credentials or the money or that sort of thing. It's about how do I change my worldview so I can fit in. So that's what I work on, helping them to change their mindset, to adapt to the new environment, to take care of themselves, to maintain that inner drive to keep them going, because sometimes you want to just give up and I'm tired. So yes, that's a lot of what we do together. Yeah.
So in addition to you're helping them, you're almost like the cheerleader.
Absolutely.
Like coming alongside of them. And
it's a lot of training, a lot of coaching, and a lot of helping them to plan strategically. Those are core components to how I work with people. You can have all the energy you want and all the commitment, but if you don't have a plan, you're ending up nowhere.
Right. strategic plan is important.
Yes, yes. So
All right.
strategic planning, restorative habits to make sure you have that inner fire to keep going, and making sure that you have a clear idea about who you're going to become in order to thrive in the new environment.
Wow, excellent.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I can see you going places with that. You got it all, got the whole package together.
Yes.
And I'm totally impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming and having this conversation with me. And I'm sure that everyone is seeing what someone like you, the impact you can make on our province. So I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you, thank you, thank
You're
you.
very welcome. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Thanks to Didan for being with us today, and thanks to you for watching. Join us again next time and meet some of the amazing individuals who've come to call this place home.
Come together, you and me, come together right now, for all the world to see. Come together, you and me, come together right now. There's joy in unity. Come together, you and me, come together right now.